All right, we're back with another interview here on the Scotty No Show. This is part 3 of our wrestling takeover. Um, and we decided, you know what? Let's go a little bit out east. I believe that's the correct direction.
Yep.
To
Yeah.
Minnesota, and we've got Brandon Pygman on the show. Pig, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing really good.
Yep. For those that may not know you, give a little bit of a background of yourself if you could.
My name's Brandon Pygman. From Jackson, Minnesota. It's where I also coach, and I work in Lakefield, Minnesota at Cozy Heat. That's pretty much. I met Scotty in college through Wyatt Perry and all those guys. So I'm sure everybody knows that.
Yep. The good old 223 days.
Oh yeah.
But
Yep.
but even before that, I believe there was a few times I would go, gosh, what was it, third floor or second floor?
Second
Pearson.
floor. Yeah, second floor Pearson.
Yep. And you would be there probably making pizzas on a pizzazz.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
um what games you got action on tonight?
I'm gonna do Gophers money line, and what else did I do? Let me look.
All right.
West Virginia,
Ooh, okay.
couple upsets.
All right. Before we start, I probably should address something. Last night, I may have gotten a little bit too emotional, talking about referees and stuff like that. Um, uh, in my defense, they were not that great at all. Um, that was said to me by fans on both sides of the aisle, so to speak. Um, but yeah, I'm not going to apologize for anything that I said, but I'll try not to upset people. So
Sometimes the refs get a little out of control.
yeah, yeah. And on top of that, I've hated St. Thomas more since I was like a sixth grader. So I mean, yeah.
Is that
Um
out in Rapid City? That school?
yeah, that's the school that a mutual friend of ours, JC, went to.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
So um
Familiar now.
speaking of JC, although it's probably, I believe you guys call yourself JCC,
Yep.
Jackson
Yep.
County Central. You guys recently won the Class A wrestling title, I
Yes.
believe.
Yep. Yep.
You had three wrestlers become state champions.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to have you help me on the last name of one of these guys. There's Nolan Ambrose.
Yep.
I believe it's, is it Kai Anderson?
Yep.
And then Peyton
Hand of it.
Hand of Hand of Voight,
Hand of it.
Hand of It. Yeah.
Yep.
Those are your three wrestling champions. Let's start with Mr. Ambrose. What does he do well?
Oh, he's just a freak on top. He puts the legs in. He can turn anybody really. He was probably the best 13 pounder. Well, he is the best 13 pounder in the state. He beat um the kid in AAA and I believe the kid in AA, and he went undefeated this year, won the Rumble, went undefeated at the Clash, which is a huge dual tournament. And that was out in Wisconsin this year. But yeah, he he's a hammer.
And same question for Kai Anderson.
Um, like our guys, they're just hammers on top. Kai, he can cradle any kid he wants. He's really good on his feet, has really good single leg. Um, it honestly, those three, just studs. They're really, really good.
And I believe a few of them, maybe I think the Hand of It kid won his, I believe, third state
Yep.
title. Is that correct?
He's a 3-timer. He's gonna go wrestle at University of Augustana.
Ooh.
Yep.
I know a few people that will be very happy to have him on the program.
Oh, yeah. That program's starting to get really, really good.
Oh yeah.
They got a whole bunch of Fairmont guys, and it's kind of like Southwest Minnesota super team, if you ask me.
Okay. Yeah, they also they've had a few they've had a kid from Pierre wrestle there. He's now an assistant coach out here in Pierre. Talking of course Jeb and Keys. And then of course Clayton Wallstrom, who is the head wrestling coach out here at Stanley County. He also wrestled for Augustana, so I am very familiar with the Augustana wrestling program.
And then also a kid that graduated from here, Cooper Moore.
Yes.
He's a 2-timer. He's a grad assistant coach there as well. So
Yep. I was gonna ask you, like, Jackson, from what I'm able to decipher from the research I was able to do, is kind of a wrestling powerhouse of sorts.
yeah. We've won 8 team dual championships, and I mean I can't even I think pretty sure it's like over 40 individual state champions over the years, maybe even 50.
Wow.
I'm not quite sure. It's a lot. I think it's at least 40.
Okay. So you do have a state dual tournament?
Yep. So Thursday is all team duels.
Okay.
That's what they do. And then Friday is 2 rounds of the winning or the quarter or to the quarterfinals. And then something that is super weird, I don't think any other state does it. If you lose your first match in the individuals, the guy that you lost to has to win in order for you to wrestle back.
Really?
Yep. So they cut out a complete round of consolation.
Wow. I've never heard of anybody doing that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're the only one in the nations that does that.
You also had 3 wrestlers place 4th and 2 wrestlers placing 6th. Is Minnesota like South Dakota, where it's like you wrestle out to 8th place?
It's 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like another thing that we kind of do different, like a lot of the other states, they recognize usually a dual team state championship and then the individual team standings or whatever, which Minnesota doesn't recognize that. The Coaches Association, I think, does, but the Minnesota State High School League doesn't. Okay. And we also got first in that. We got first in that last year as well.
Okay. Do you guys have girls wrestling?
Yes. So that's another big thing. Minnesota. This is our first year of sanctioned girls wrestling. It was pretty cool to watch up at the XL. I mean, XL is where the Wild play. It's a huge arena, thousands and thousands of people. They got for the finals. They got their own mat. It's usually just 3 mats lined up in the center. But now this year, since they had the girls, they put girls out there too. So it was a really, really cool experience for them.
Now you guys are in Class A. I think you mentioned something like AA and AAA. What's the difference between all the classes?
So it goes by size of the school. So Class A is your smaller schools. AA, I mean, it's more like a lot of co-op schools. I mean, single A, we have a lot of co-ops too, but like your bigger schools at co-op. And then AAA is a lot of the city schools. Some AA schools are city schools as well, but
okay.
AAA is all the big towns.
What are some like examples if you could provide them, of like AA and AAA schools that people might know
So
about.
powerhouse for AA where Brandon Hagen went to school, Simley, Intergrove
Oh,
Heights. I think
yeah.
they won their 6th in a row this year. And then in AAA, it is St. Michael Albertville was
Okay.
was the winner this year, and that's like the same class as Apple Valley and all the you probably have heard of Apple Valley before. So
Yeah, there's I've heard about them in basketball because I believe a
yep.
guy by the name of Trey Jones went there.
Trey
Trey,
and Ties. Yep.
Trey and Tyus.
Yep.
Um, do you guys who would be your rival? Would it be like
Rival?
Worthington?
I would say Fairmont.
Okay.
Fairmont, really good program over there. It's always a fun duel. The gym's usually really packed. We beat them this year for the first time in a long time. I think they got 5th or 6th in team duels this year in AA. So they're pretty good.
Sorry, my computer is just going off right now. I have to close out some tabs. But yeah, I'm blowing. It's the day before my birthday, so I'm blowing up right now.
Is it that? Oh yeah, it's gonna be the 10th tomorrow.
Yep.
It's everybody's birthday month, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yours is coming up.
Yeah.
I know Travis is coming up.
Yep.
I think Hagen's is even coming up.
Yep. Yep.
There is one tournament that you guys wrestle at that South Dakota people might have seen you guys in, I believe.
Yep. The little B.
Yep.
Yep.
And what have you been able to notice is a difference between South Dakota wrestling and Minnesota wrestling?
I think there just might be like a little bit of style difference, but that also could just be our style against anybody else, This year we absolutely dominated that tournament. We scored over, I think 300 points, which is pretty unheard of in wrestling. And it's tough tournament. There's tough kids there and all that stuff, but just like any other state wrestling, sometimes numbers are a struggle. We have the numbers. We got 40 plus kids, 7 through 12.
Wow.
In our program right now.
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on some of these, but I believe is Brandon Valley one of the teams that you guys might run into out there?
I'm not sure if they were out there this year. Nah.
Or was it like Rapid City Central or Stevens or something like that?
It's like just a lot of smaller schools.
Oh, okay. That's probably Canton that you might run into.
Yep.
But yeah, congratulations on the insane success that you guys have had.
No, we put in a lot of time or whatever. Our head coach and our assistants. Our head coach, he's great. And he does everything.
And of course you've had a few people. You mentioned the Moore kid earlier that have come out of Jackson and gone on to some pretty good success. Who are some people that others might know about that they've seen maybe on a national collegiate level?
So just this last weekend, Keegan Moore, Cooper's little brother, he qualified for the national tournament. He wrestles for the Oklahoma Sooners.
What?
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
All right. He got 4th at 184, and I was just looking right when we started this. They just released the brackets for the NCAA, so I was gonna look at those, see where he was. But.
Okay. Yeah, you've have you been to the national tournament?
No, I had my tickets for when it was supposed to be at US Bank Stadium, but We all know what happened there.
Yeah,
COVID.
we do. Yeah,
And I thought that was going to be pretty cool with being in a football stadium, because it's never been in one of those. It'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. We're gonna transition to some non-Minnesota wrestling topics. I hope you're okay with that.
I love it.
First of all, I know for a fact that you went to the freezer bowl, so to speak, the playoff game between the Vikings and the Seahawks.
Oh, don't remind me, Scotty.
so you were able to see, the likes of Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner do what they were able to do in person.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is completely gone. Russell Wilson on the Broncos. I think Bobby Wagner just got released. What is your thoughts?
I think I can't believe Russell went to the Broncos. That just kind of came out of left field. Last year he kind of hinted towards that he kind of wanted to leave. So I mean, wasn't completely out of the question that he did that. But and as far as Bobby, I think he's a little too old now.
Yeah.
Probably paying him a little bit too much to keep him on there, which Vikings fans know all about paying too much for older guys. So
I wonder who you could
think we're gonna be.
I wonder who you could be referring to with that.
Oh, well, I got like at least 5 players I can think of that we're overpaying.
Does one of them wear number 8?
Yeah. I think he's a little. I like him. I really do. I think he's a good quarterback. I mean, you can't put any of the blame on him this year. Not at all.
Yeah. I have noticed this. It feels like there's a division in Viking fandom where there's Vikings fans and Kirk Cousins fans. So
yeah.
I feel like that's a division within our ranks, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of people that play the quarterback position, Carson Wentz got traded this afternoon.
Yeah, I saw that.
He is now a member of the Washington Commanders. Good God, what a terrible name that is.
That is. And why didn't they just keep the name Washington Football Team?
I
didn't mind it.
Yeah. That's probably what I would have called them.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm just going to continue calling them.
Yeah. But Wentz is now in Washington. This honestly, to me, reminds me of when the Eagles got rid of Donovan McNabb. Where did he go first before he went to Minnesota? He went to Washington.
Yeah, I forgot completely about that. Those are the years of the Vikings I just don't even want to remember.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder, you think at some point Carson is going to end up coming home?
Oh man, I hope not.
I hope not. Is that the?
I can't stand watching him play quarterback. He gets happy. If you think Kirk Cousins has happy feet, watch Carson Wentz play quarterback.
Yeah. Is that the Minnesota Viking fan in you or the SDSU alum speaking?
That is the SDSU alum. I watched him tear us apart.
So the starting date for opening day has been moved for baseball has been moved to April 14th. Baseball is basically dead, I feel like.
Oh yeah. It's dumb. Like they don't even realize what they're like. Baseball is already a dying sport. I mean, the MLB is a dying.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, the games take for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. There's only action like 2 seconds out of the time every play. I think that they just don't. I think they just don't realize how like out of it. They really are. I mean, in their defense, they are competing with the NFL and the NBA. Like
Yeah,
NHL is on the rise, I think. But I
I would
mean, when you're
agree.
competing with those two powerhouses of leagues and associations, it's going to be hard. You better do something to your game to speed it up, make it more interesting. And I like them testing out the 7-inning double headers and extra innings starting a guy on second base. Like, I think some of it's just stupid, but
You didn't like
I mean,
that?
I guess they have to try some. I know. I think it. Well, I might be biased, but I watched the Twins lose the first 8 games in extra innings last year, and it just seemed like what are we doing out there?
Well, wasn't there a game where like Willens Astudillo had to pitch?
Oh, he pitched in. I think he pitched in like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah,
He's throwing the ball 45 miles an hour.
gave up a home run at one point.
Oh yeah, that was
Eh,
the talk.
yeah, um, yeah. There, something has to be done. I feel like there's too many games. That
162 is a lot of games in today's world where our attention span is not very long. I mean, I don't know how they do it. I mean, like think of like the athletes like Byron Buxton. I mean, 162 games. That is, he doesn't even have a chance. The way he plays, and he plays way aggressive. I bet you if they play 162 games this year, I bet you if he stays healthy, he'll only play 125 or so. I mean, which is a really, really good amount for him, but I guess we'll see if he can stay healthy.
um during the baseball season, I don't know if this is your way of thinking, but this is probably most definitely mine. I don't really get interested until the All-Star break.
Okay.
You know, like I mean, I'll keep my eyes usually on, what's happening, the people that people are talking about. Last year it was big Shohei Ohtani,
Oh yeah.
big Shohei Ohtani watch. Um, and then also the Field of Dreams game last year, I thought was the smartest and best idea that baseball has had in years.
Yep. I thought it was really, really cool. The Field of Dreams game. See, I'm a diehard, so like I'm watching from game 1 to game
Yeah.
162, unless my Twins are like last year completely out of it. So like the year before COVID, the Twin really good, the Bomba Squad. I think I went to 11 games. And I even went to the last playoff game against the Yankees.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm a diehard Twins fan. So, I mean, I care. I probably care a little bit too much.
I would like to see them potentially, maybe not necessarily the home run derby, but I would like to see them have the All-Star game there at the Field of Dreams Stadium.
That'd be interesting.
Like seeing the Yankees and the White Sox walk out of that cornfield was awesome. Imagine if you add like an angel like Mike Trout walking out of
Mhm.
there, how cool
Yep.
that visual would look.
Yeah. What I think the only problem you get there is they want fans there, and
Yep.
what are they going to do? Build a whole stadium?
Yeah. Um, we'll talk more about college basketball next week on our college NCAA tournament preview episode. But Duke this weekend. First of
Oh,
all,
man.
I if I'm remembering correctly, you're not a big Duke guy, right?
No, I despise Duke.
Yeah. They pooped the bed, so to speak, and they lost on Coach K's last home game night to North Carolina. What in the hell?
Yeah, what night was that?
That was Saturday.
Saturday. So we were still busy with wrestling, I got on my phone and I saw that, and it's like, wow, what a way to go out, Coach K. I mean, obviously he still got the tournament, but
Yep. And there's a
pretty crazy.
There's a potential that North Carolina and Duke can play for the third time in the ACC tournament.
Yeah.
That will be interesting.
Yeah.
This past weekend saw the Batman break a whole bunch of movie records and stuff, for an opening weekend. I'm sure you haven't seen it yet, have you?
No, I haven't had any time. I want
Okay.
to. I heard it's really good.
It is. I recommend it. Colin Farrell is unrecognizable as the Penguin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Um, Robert Pattinson does a really, really, really good job as Batman. Just a really good movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch that.
I have one more question before we get into weekend plans. Um, do you believe now, if you had to guess, do you think there are more wheels or doors in the world?
Wheels or doors?
Yes.
You got me stumped on that one, bud.
Well, I don't know nobody really knows the right answer. It's been like this big debate online over the past week.
Well, what do we think? Is there more? We probably think there's more cars than houses, right?
Yes, but you have to also factor in like hospitals. There's a whole bunch of doors. Apartments. There's a whole bunch of doors. Uh, Colleges. Like there's just a metric shit ton of doors. And
And what about the 18-wheeler semis?
True, but like how many of them are there out in this world now?
Oh, yeah, true.
But
I'm going with tires because I know the number of 4 to be pretty consistent with that. If you start stacking those up.
yeah, I think if I had to count in my apartment right now, just like in my general area, so there's at least 3 doors here, and that's not including like the pantry door or anything like that.
Now you got me changing my mind.
Yeah. And is that for those that are probably maybe watching this, is that Cook behind you?
Yeah, that's Cook. He's getting a little restless.
So weekend plans, do you have any weekend plans this weekend?
No, this is my first weekend off of wrestling. No tournaments. I think I'm just gonna relax. Probably watch some college basketball. That's probably about it. Maybe go have a few adult refreshments at a bar. Um, I don't know. Weekend's wide open for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. No free ads, but shout out to whatever restaurant that is that has the hot hen.
Oh, the shed.
The Shed. I love the Shed. Um this weekend is something that you and I have both been to. It's Precious St. Patrick's Day.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I
uh,
that is that place gets pretty wild over St. Patty's Day.
yeah. So I'm not going to that because I stopped drinking 7 months ago.
Hey, there you go, bud.
So that explains a whole 11.3% body fat weight loss.
Well,
Um,
congrats.
but I will probably end up going to the state Special Olympics basketball tournament that we have here in town.
Okay.
Um, you know, always been a big supporter of the Special Olympics, and it's going to be awesome to get to see some of those athletes perform. Next week, as I said, we're having our college basketball preview. with a guy that I know from he goes to SCSU now, Bennett Dean, and I am in also discussions of having somebody that you and I know that was on a reality show, having her
Oh,
on the show. She has
that's
not
awesome.
she has not responded yet, but
Probably busy doing promos or something.
yeah, yeah. And who knows? I mean, her mom and dad, Dan and Dee Dee, were on the show for an episode. That they're probably getting endorsement deals now. Like
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Well,
Which,
that episode was awesome. I called Brando and I was talking to him. I was calling his mom and dad superstars, and they were just like, "Oh my gosh."
which begs the question: what would your mom and dad be like on a reality TV show?
I have no clue. They probably embarrass me. I mean, out of love, but
Yeah,
they probably would say some embarrassing things.
my
Love them to death, though.
my mom would definitely embarrass me. My dad would be like, "What are these fancy contraptions that they're taking pictures with?" Like, Dad, those are cameras. Like, um, but thank you for coming on. Please stay on for the post show. But thank you
Okay,
for coming on.
no problem, Scotty.